Listen, welcome to another AuthorTube tour with author Christy Angeli. Myself, that's me, you guys. I'm the author. I am she. I am so excited to have every person who have been a part of the AuthorTube tour for these past 2 weeks. This is my second week, you guys, and I am feeling even more exhilarated and joyous than the first time, which was April the 1st. If you have not went and if you haven't started binge watching, listen, what are you waiting on? You need to binge watch the AuthorTube tour. It is so good, you guys. I kid you not just because I put it on, not just because I'm hosting this, not just because it's my AuthorTube. It is because it's jam packed with wisdom, knowledge, an atmosphere to help you be yourself, to know that you're not alone, to know that you can make it, that you can, write that book. You can become that author. You can just make it happen, right? And so this place in this space is your hub for authors. If you are a writer and you don't know exactly where to start, how to start, what it all looks like, and the ins and outs and the different types of emotional roller coaster that you can be on, listen, this is the space for you. Okay, this is your place, this is your moment, this is your chance to realize your I can as an author. And I'm so excited about being able to share this experience with each and every one of you lovely people on this day. Okay, so do me a favor before we kind of get started and begin to just really, engage and indulge in today's Q&A from my book excerpt reading. You know what to do. Go ahead and type in the comments below where you're tuning in from. If you are a first time you AuthorTube, goer, let me know in the comments below. And if this is you've been rocking with me, if you have been here every week, or this is only 2 weeks, but if you have been here since the beginning, let me know that you are, hey, that you've been here, you're a champion. And if this is your, second day, because we did this on Monday. So if this is we did it on Saturday. So if this is your second day, just let me know day 2 for you. Okay. And all of you, I want you to greet the ones, if you have been rocking with me for a while, if this is your second day, you kind of gotten familiar with me. But if this is your first day, I need every person that has been here since day 1 to show some love to my newbies, show some love to my novices. And and we're just going to welcome them into the space, welcome them into the room, welcome them into the atmosphere. And you can ask those questions, but the only way you can ask and really engage is if you are a subscriber. So listen, do me a huge favor, okay? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified when it's time to go live, when it's time to join the event, when it's time to grab your snacks, when it's time to grab your tea, when it's time to silence your phone. Silence your phone, okay? I'm going to make sure my phone is silenced while I am talking about silencing the phone, because we don't want to be interrupted by things that are going on the outside, because we want our full attention to be here. We want you to be able to ask those questions and be able to be a part of the experience, be a part of the atmosphere, even though it's virtual, right? But we can always still feel as if we are a part of something greater, okay? By engaging, by asking those questions, by sending a shout out to where you are located. That way we can see who's in the building, see who's in the room, and we can make sure that we are, fully engaged and saying hello and welcoming you, making you feel a part. Listen, the cook in me, the chef in me, yes, I am a chef as well. I am a personal chef, a certified chef. But the chef in me, if I was live, if this was an in-person event, I'll be handing out snacks. I have a charcuterie board set up, or a beautiful display of food that you can grab and just, and just chew on and eat and just have this event really, really, loungy, comfortable feel. But since I don't listen, this is a BYOS, right? A BYO D, bring your own snack and bring your own drink, okay? So, and let me know what you're chewing on, okay? Let me know what you're smacking on. Let me know what you're drinking on. Let me know how you are, engaging as much as possible in this particular, AuthorTube tour, right? So, listen, what we're going to do right now is give you time to get yourself settled, situated, get all your whatever you need to get set up right now before we go into the next part of this particular AuthorTube, Q&A from my book excerpt reading. And so we will be back. We're going to take a smidget of a break. Okay. So we will be back in 30 seconds, you guys. So you got to make it do what it do really fast. Okay. So you can be back in 30 seconds so that we can continue with this event and make it as great as possible. Okay. So be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to another day of this AuthorTube, event. And I'm so, so grateful that you guys have made it back with me again. So that means that I must be doing something right. The event is very, very, engaging, and you are learning a lot and you're enjoying the experience. Okay. So what we're going to do now, okay, y'all know how I like to get the mood set with a little bit of music. If you have not been with me, listen, we like to dance. We like to have that music going and to just loosen up and enjoy what's to come. Okay, so we're going to give a little dance. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, and we will be back in a few seconds. Hey girl, how you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. I see you. Thank you so much for being a part. Listen, if you have any questions that you want to go ahead and leave in the comments, go ahead and drop those questions below, okay? Go ahead and drop those questions. If you have caught the recent replays, and if you left a question or you have not left a question, you want to leave a question, go ahead and leave a question because I'll be able to respond to them during this particular live, okay? And if I do not respond, listen, that's the great thing about it being on an evergreen platform. I can go back and I can answer, right? I see you. I think this is my favorite dance move. What y'all think? Am I getting it? What you think? What's yours? What's your move? Show me. Hey, if you can use a GIF, use the GIF. We are going to have so much fun during the rest of this event. Listen, I do want you to know that if you have not listened to the first one, I implore you to go back and catch the first one. I suggest that you go ahead and binge watch, okay? So that you can see what's to come and you can know what to expect and what to look for, because at the end of the tour there is going to be something amazing that I will be releasing for you. Okay, are y'all ready to get started? Are y'all ready to get started? Or y'all not finished showing those moves? Are y'all not finished showing? Okay, go ahead, show them off. It's okay. All right. Listen. Yes, yes, yes. I know we have been having a blast over this last week, and we enjoyed Holy Week as well. If you have been, a real, partaker of Holy Week, if you went to church on yesterday and enjoyed the sermon, enjoyed the resurrection, production, whatever you did to celebrate and to honor and to recognize that He is risen, let me know in the comments below. I went to New Life Austin. That's the church that I currently attend. It's off of Mopac, and we had a blast. The music was hype. The singers were, doing their thing as far as ministering and song. And then the word of God that was preached was very relevant. It was very timely. And we talked about live again. And not only that, the beginning of it, the beginning was, going into the life group that we have at church. I am part of Single 2 life group, and the message of hope, the message of, just being renewed, no matter how far we have, fallen away, or how we've denied Jesus, or how we have, denied our purpose, our place on this earth. God always has His hands of, restoration, and His arms of compassion, his heart of love ready for us to, be taken back into His bosom. He doesn't throw us out. He don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I'm excited about that. So that was my, yesterday or this past week experience of, or engaging in Holy Week. And I am excited about that. And so, one of the things that I'm excited about Saturday, if you missed Saturdays, I was doing the reading you my excerpt, right? And so we talked about the 2 excerpts that I read was very, very powerful. Okay. And it was, concerning pain, and it was concerning as well let's see, what was the other one? The first person to invest in you. The first person to invest in you. And I talk about the first person who invests in you. And if you could take a wild guess as to the first person to invest in you, I want you to write that in the comments below. Please put that in the comments. I would love to read your response to knowing who is the first person to invest in you. Some may say their mother, some may say their father, some may say a friend, some may say a neighbor, some may say a pastor, some may say a teacher. Who is the first person to invest in you? And then I would like for you, if you have not caught Saturday's AuthorTube, I want you to go back and hear the first person to invest in you and what that looks like. What does that look like? And what does that mean to know that this person is the first person to ever to invest in you? And you know what? I do want you to write that in the comment below as well. Let me know who was the first person to invest in you, to invest in your hopes, to invest in your dreams, to invest in your future, to invest in you as a person, to speak life, to speak direction, to speak greatness, to prophesy, to speak a word of encouragement. Who was the first person to invest in you? I know this is supposed to be a Q&A for myself that I'm supposed to be asking. I'm supposed to be reading questions asked, but that just popped in. I only do what the atmosphere calls for, and I believe it calls for us to take an inward look to see where we are, and to understand the people that plays key parts in our life, key roles in our life, because sometimes we can feel so alone that we don't have anyone investing in us, no one speaking a word of affirmation or direction into us. And so I want to break that, so that you can go down memory lane right now and to know, like, this was the first person. I remember this person, my teacher. I remember my Sunday school teacher, or I remember my pre-K teacher, or I remember my high school teacher. It doesn't matter the state in your life, where you are. There has been someone to invest in you, and I want you to take that time right now. Listen, if you have not been rocking with me, I want you to know that this is a transformative type of AuthorTube tour, okay? It's not about just you becoming familiar with who I am as a writer, but becoming familiar with who you are as a writer. Okay, to know that you have a story, to know that you can make it through this, whatever hurdle, whatever situation, whatever challenge that you're faced with. So one of the ways to know that you can make it through this is to know that you have someone investing in you. And some of you may say, I invest in myself. I'm the first person to invest in myself. I spoke my own words of encouragement. Well, you know what? Write it. Put that in the comments. Let yourself David said, I had to encourage myself. There are times we have to encourage ourselves. So if you were the first person to invest in you, then be proud of that. Knowing that you have what it takes to speak life into you, to look at the situation, no matter how bleak it may seem, and you can see a glimmer of hope, you can see a glimmer of joy, and you speak to yourself and tell yourself that I am this writer. I am this influential person. I am this person of power and position and royalty. I know who I am. And so therefore I'm investing in myself by doing, by speaking life, by speaking affirmation, by, buying things that I'm gonna need. I bought my own my first pair of, I would say, author pencils, or my first pair, my laptop, because I know that I wanted to be a writer and I needed, A, B, and C. We don't have the typewriters anymore, but we have a laptop that we use to, put our information down. We don't just write anymore with pen and paper. So you have invested. If you have invested in yourself first in some type of way, that's kudos to you. Don't let anyone take that from you. Don't let the atmosphere, don't let the people commenting and make you change your mind about you were the first one to invest in yourself. So that is an awesome thing. That is an amazing thing. Some people can't even invest in themselves. They don't have the strength or the capacity or the mind frame to even invest in themselves, right? So they need that other person that came along, that minister, that teacher, that boss, that the mother, the father, the grandmother, the grandfather, whomever came into their life and began to invest. They bought them their first pairs of shoes. They bought them their whatever it was that they were in need of to make sure that their goals were met. So I just want you to know, like, that's more power to you. And so the next question that I am going to give you, listen, we never know what we're going to get in these type of settings, because I only do what the atmosphere is calling for. We also talked about pain. And listen, what are you doing with the pain that you're experiencing right now? Your pain is a seed. And if you go back and listen to the Saturday's excerpt reading, I dropped so much wisdom and knowledge and gems into that particular, event that day, that you want to go and make sure you have a notepad, and you want to just glean from it. You want to grab hold to it. You want to put it into your arsenal. You want to put it into your treasure chest. You want to put it into your being, because your pain is a seed. So where are you planting your seed? And we talk about all of that in my last one. So I go and binge watch. Okay, go ahead and binge watch. It is a powerful segment. And you want that in your arsenal as well. And these are, timeless. This is a timeless event, that it doesn't just make for someone who is becoming a writer or who is a writer. This is for any person who is pursuing purpose. But since I am an author right now, and I have recently released my first book, this is an AuthorTube tour, but the information is timeless. The information is not just for writers. You can learn a lot for where you are. You can apply the wisdom, the nuggets, the gems for any situation in your life, whatever you are, trekking upon, whatever you are traversing, whatever territory, whatever land, whatever purpose, whatever vision, so this is a very, very powerful, tool to have in your arsenal, to have in your playlist, to have in your rotation. And also you can share this with the next person. You can share it with the author, the writer who's feeling hopeless, who's feeling, abandoned, who's feeling, as if no one is investing. So this one today is a very, very great, tool to share with the next person, right? So I'm going to turn around and I am going to answer the questions that I have asked, I'm going to answer those questions. And if you have a question, I'm going to answer your question as well. So just leave it in the comments below. And once I see the question, I'm going to go ahead and respond to the question as well. But the first person to invest in me was God. I know, like so spiritual. Oh my gosh, we know God. He's the one that created you. But listen, that is an amazing thing for me to know, because I was reading on this morning in the book of Psalms, the ninth chapter, and I believe it was talking about how he created us, a little lower than him. He said, the writer says, who is man that you are so mindful of him? Who is man that you take time out to put, a part of yourself in man? And then it also goes on to say that he gave man authority. See how he invested to give us the authority over what he created? That's a huge investment, right? That, when you're building your company, when you're writing your book and you're getting an agent or you're finding someone to be over your estate, to be over what you have built, that's like, I'm not just going to, take anybody, even if you have children. Listen, you're not just, you're watching your children. You are seeing how they respond, how responsible they are. Because if they're not responsible and they're not responding, the way that you feel like they need to respond in order to have such a major responsibility, such as being a ruler over an estate, like you would assign a governor, to help that child until, to rule over until that child becomes of age. Like you don't want just any person walking into your business and, you're hiring them and they don't have what it takes. They don't have the skill set. They don't have the mindset, and they come in and tear down. You don't want any person, but he created the heavens and the earth. He created the stars. He created the animals and all these things, and he gives us rule over the earth, right? Over what he has created. That is powerful to me, to know that he was the first person to invest in me. Listen, we're going to take a break and we will be back in another 30 seconds, okay? So we can bring you the next question. Give yourself time to chew on this. Give yourself time to go and take that potty break, whatever you need to do, right? And we will be back in 30 seconds, you guys. So I look forward to seeing you. Welcome back. We are ready for round two. I know 30 seconds was really quick and you probably trying to scramble to your seats so that you can be right here and ready to hear what's going to be said next. So my next question is where, did I plant my seed of pain? Where did I plant that? Okay. And I'm going to answer that for you right now. Okay. And so I'm going to answer that by, I've had so many different, experiences with pain, but where I planted my seeds of pain was in love. I did. I planted my seeds of pain in love. And in my book, it shares so much more about, the different pains that I had to experience, that I went through, but how I determined within myself to not allow my situation to dictate to me how to respond. So I chose how I wanted to respond to every situation that came up in my life that was in the seed, in the form of pain. And so I decided to take that pain and plant it in love. And I take the word of God seriously, to where it says that, love covers a multitude of faults. And so I took that and I said, well, you know what? This hurts. I hate that I experienced this, but it's necessary, it's needed, and it's for my good. And so the other person, or the people, or the challenges that I faced may have been for my bad and filled with pain, to stop me, to keep me from advancing. But I decided that I wanted to plant my pain in love. And so one of the things that really struck, got my attention, and was Jane Seymour's her open heart collection. And I love her collection. And it's about, allowing your heart to stay open so love can always find its way in. And so because I, wanted my pain to be planted in love, I allowed that to be one of my mottos, one of my, my mottos that I live by when I'm faced with pain, when I'm faced with hurt or things that are attacking my heart, heart issues. I guard my heart, but at the same token, I don't close off my heart, because I want love to always flow in and out of me. I want love to always be able to be safe with me, and I want love to always have a space with me. And I don't want it to, start transforming into something ugly, such as bitterness, jealousy, low self-esteem. I don't want it to start transforming into something ugly, such as hate and evilness. So I said to myself, whenever I am faced with pain, how can I show love? How can this be another form of love being expressed, to whatever, loving myself? So understanding that, so I not only loving other people, but loving myself. How can Christy love herself in the midst of this pain? Because sometimes pain wants to cause us to look at ourselves in a, hurtful manner, with guilt, with feeling suicidal. I experienced that when, at the age of 13, but as I began to grow up and really understand the, purpose of pain, I began to allow pain become my leveraging, pain become my platform for the greater good, to say, even in this, how can I love myself? How can I love others? How can I allow, pain to teach me those valuable lessons? And even as hard as they may be, and as tough or as challenging, or as, leaving you vulnerable and leaving you as if, man, but you just don't know what this person is doing, or what the situation, how it's feeling. You don't know how it's feeling, as if it's taken a lot out of me. And for me to still rise to the occasion and to show love, is like, how? So I began to allow the questions that came along with, okay, how can I allow myself to love even in the midst of pain, to begin to develop me, to begin to mature me, to begin to scope me? And so in that, I'm able to, write about, I'm able, this book is written from a healthy perspective. This book is written from a place of understanding who you are, understanding a position of power. What's your I can, realizing your I can in purpose, business, and family. And so it is written from that space of knowing my identity, my purpose, my assignment. So when you are reading this book, even though I have some hurtful places and moments in this book, it is from a place of, I know who I am. It's from a place of I can. what's my reason for this experience that, I talk about the enemies in this book, my who you call those people, that you have the antagonists and you have the protagonists, you have your villains and you have your saviors in this book. So this book is written from a place of understanding the go through and the tug of war of dealing with pain or dealing with upsets, and also how to be victorious, how to overcome, how to find your ground, how to find your voice, knowing who you are. So this book is an amazing tool, an amazing resource, because it allows you to know who you are on another level. So those are the two questions, that I'm asking you guys, but also the questions that I'm answering as well. So I pray that as you continue to follow along this AuthorTube tour, we'll be back on tomorrow, that you are, feeling, encouraged, inspired, motivated, transformed with a renewed mind, a renewed heart posture, and your emotions are becoming healed and whole, and that you are ready to write that story. Okay, write that book, make it happen. I cannot wait to read it. I cannot wait to see you do great and mighty things, because you decided not to give up just because of the pain that you are experiencing right now. Remember those that have invested in you. Remember who you said invested in you. Remember, you owe them this win. Okay, not only them, you owe yourself this win. Okay, so I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in with me for today's Q&A from my book excerpt reading, and we go out the same way that we came in, and that's on a dance. Are you ready? Oh, my music don't want to play. Oh, there it is. We good? Y'all good? Are y'all ready?